Alive. Morning, Rise and Shine Yoga. This is going to be a full yoga class for people who are serious about their yoga practice. So if you're just scrolling, keep going. Anyways, this is the morning meditation. I start these classes with a painting. This painting was done in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, of all places. It's a quaint little village in Connecticut, little New Englandy town. There's a lot of stuff going on in this painting, so I'm going to bring it up close and I'm going to go from left to right, or your right to my left. So what do we got here? We got a grading, we got some trees, hills, forest. We got a piano, keyboard. We got a church. So all kind of integrated in there. And then down below, I can't see it. I'll have to fold it. Let me fold it. Down below, we have sort of the central figure of this painting, which is a guitar. A guitar that's actually an odorless nude. So it's a nude woman. See, there's her breasts. There's her hips. But it's also a guitar. And the guitar, or the woman, is on a table. So we can check this out for a couple of minutes. Sort of get relaxed, get our breathing nice and deep in the belly. And that's it for the morning meditation. My name is Trace Perot. I've been studying, practicing, teaching yoga for about 33 years, 33 years. Actually, I'm just getting around to becoming a certified yoga instructor, so that's kind of interesting. Anyways, I guess what we'll do is we'll do some warm-up exercises and maybe a couple of standing poses, probably not too many, and then some seating poses, right? And I go into advanced poses, so just as a warning, be aware of where you're going, stop if you're feeling any kind of strain, and I will let you know when I go from more of a beginner or intermediate pose into an advanced pose. And I'm going to be doing this class on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I just finished a 30-day headstand challenge, in which I discovered that the conditions of my cervical discs are not that great, and the headstand was aggravating it. So I'm switching over to an inversion table, right? So that I don't have to put pressure on my cervical spine. And that goes for both the headstand and the shoulder stand. The shoulder stand is even worse. Now, I've been practicing them both for 33 years, and that's absolutely not the reason why I have cervical discs in my neck. You know, my neck discs are not that in good a condition. It was entirely due to what's called these days tech neck, which is a protruding of your neck forward to look at a computer screen. And this was confirmed by a doctor that I went to about 4 years ago when I started having a few issues with my neck. And she nailed it right on the head. She said, look out. And there was a bunch of people at computers. It was like a health fair. And she pointed at all these people, and all their heads were protruded looking at the screen. So they were bending their neck like this, right? And she said, that's why your neck is bothering you. And I thought, oh, no, that's not possible, right? But sure enough, that's the reason. So anyways, I'm switching over to an inversion table. And during these classes, I'm going to do a headstand or a handstand instead of a headstand, which I'm just beginning to work on again. And then eventually I'll do like the scorpion pose and stuff like that, which is an upside inverted pose, but you're not putting pressure on your head or your neck, right? However, if you don't have any issues with your cervical spine, I totally encourage you to continue to do the headstand. It's one of the most beneficial poses in yoga. It's called the king of yoga poses. Anyways, that's it for now. So we'll get into this class, and I'm going to go for at least an hour. So, I'm going to start with some warm-up poses. I'll turn back around like this. I'm going to rock and roll. Beautiful sunny day in Hawaii on the east side, Puna. Wonderful day to be alive and kicking, so they say. And I'm going to do a what I call a body wave. Which is rolling back and forth through your spine from the mat, from an arch back on the mat, to pushing your pelvis up towards the ceiling. It starts to warm the core of your body and get you ready for some good old yoga poses. I'm pulling a leg up to my chest. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's a coqui frog. Oh, now I'm pulling that leg over, that knee over to the side and starting to get a good spinal stretch, trying to keep the shoulders as flat as possible. Just be careful on these poses because if you're not used to doing this kind of twist, you can pull a lot of muscles. Just bring it over as far as is comfortable. And up, knee to the head, other knee, stretch the leg out, get a good hamstring stretch. And you can actually rotate the feet at this point. Get the ankles kind of warmed up. Ankles, I should say. And the other foot, other leg. You rotate the feet. And rock back up. We go into Hashimotoasana. This is the forward bend pose. Grabbing the toes. You want to just try to keep your back straight. Just go down as far as you can towards your knees with your upper body. I'm going the extreme. Coming up, Exhale. Now I'm going to pull a leg up. One leg. Turn away from the leg. And wrap my arms around that leg. If you just get here, you can use that as leverage to twist your upper body, giving your spine an incredible twist. Using that leg, that bent leg, as a leverage and releasing. So some of you might just be able to get to this point, which is fine. That's great. Just try to get that back straight so the twist goes deep into the lower spine. I'm going to go around and grab my hands so that I have the maximum leverage. And I'm going to turn my neck back towards the back shoulder to start to loosen up my neck. And you can actually come down to the knee in this pose. To get an even more dynamic stretch. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit. We'll do it from this side. I'm going to do this one again, and I'm going to go down to the knee and get a more dynamic stretch. Coming up, looking back. And you can also reverse this. You can turn into the knee, to the bent knee, and using your elbow as leverage, get an opposing stretch there, an opposite stretch. Each one of these little twists a whole different part of your spine and back. And even clasp your hands on this side. This is an extreme pose. And do it on this side. Oh. So those are spinal twists. Anyways, so after that, we're going to rest again in Paschimottanasana briefly. So we just did a lot of stretching in that lower spine. And just as what do they call what's the medical term? Contraindication. I'm going to go up in this pose right here. Just because my body tells me that's what I need to do. I can feel I can feel what kind of poses I need to do. And sitting in the squat position is really good. It stretches your back out. This is actually one of the most natural positions for the human being to sit in, is in a squat. Probably done for millions of years before we ever had chairs and tables. And out. Okay. So, what else can we do for warm-up? I guess that's good enough. I think I'll do a couple of standing poses now. And you always want to do standing poses before sitting poses, because standing poses require balance, and sitting poses put a strain on your legs in different ways that make the balancing part a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to take off my socks and hope the mosquitoes don't go after my ankles for breakfast like they like to do. All right, so we're just going to relax a minute in Tadasana. the mountain pose. Feel that energy vibrating. I got a lot of energy vibrating through me today. I was up at 3 a.m., bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Now we're going to do a forward bending pose. So you come down slowly to your knees, to your ankles, to your toes, your big toes, grabbing your big toes and pulling your head towards your knees. This is Utthita Padangusthasana. Some of you will only be able to get to here, which is beautiful. Eventually, you'll get to go all the way down. An extreme pose is Padahastasana, which is putting the hands flat on the, Uttanasana. Putting the hands flat on the mat. And then the third pose you can do down here is Padahastasana. That's where you're standing on the palms of your hands. And then grabbing the toes, arching the back, coming straight up or rolling up through the spine. So anytime you have a pose, there's usually a series attached to it. So if I go into the variations of that pose, and you're not quite there, like if you're just here on the forward bend, just stay there. And the fact is, the longer you are in a pose, in a yoga pose, the more benefits you will receive from it. So while I'm going through the series that is based on the initial pose, if you're not used to it or just getting used to it, just stay in that initial pose for a while. So that was the Padangusthasana series, forward bending. Now I think we should do a couple of Surya Namaskars. So these are the sun salutes. The Hindus were smart. They saluted the sun every morning. So we're going to start in Tadasana, turning our hips a little bit, or our thighs a little bit inward to get that straight back. And we're going to windmill the arms up, clasp the hands, tighten the hips, and lean back. And then come forward with the hands and down to the forward bend. Shoot a leg back and look up. Keep that back leg straight. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. Come up into Adho Mukha Savasana. Then we're going to come down on our knees. We're going to brush the chest across the mat. Come up into Padangusthasana. Take a few breaths here. Curl the toes. Come back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Shoot a leg up. Keep that back leg straight. Looking up. Shoot the other leg up. Padangusthasana. Windmill the arms. Roll up the spine. Clasp the hands. Lean back. Tighten the hips. Come forward. Now we're going to go through it again. Back on the heels on the floor. Bhujangasana. Curl the toes. Adho Mukha Savasana. Kick the leg up. Padangusthasana. Windmill the arms. Lean back. And just repeat those motions. This is one of the most excellent ways to warm your body up. Not only for yoga, but for the whole day. Exhaling. Always exhaling when you're going into the pose. So you get to the pose, you take a deep breath, and then you exhale. And one more. So there is the breath rhythm. I'm going to do one more so you get that breath. All right. Woo! That was pretty stimulating. So if you do, if you are just scrolling and you want to come back later, I'm going to post. This will be posted on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of times I cut it off at 20 minutes. If they do that, I go back and I post it as a reel, I believe, which is the full version, and I mark it as the full version. So, just FYI. So, that got us going, huh? Take a minute just to sit in Tadasana, the mountain pose. Be like the mountain, immovable, strong. And then we can attempt Vrikshasana, the eagle pose. I say attempt because I haven't done it for quite a while. It's been like 3 weeks. Try to pull that leg back in line with the plane of the body. Ooh, not that easy, huh? And here we go on the other side. Stretch those arms up. It's interesting, my balance has really improved. I started running again, and it just makes a big difference in my balance, apparently. All right, so that was Vrikshasana, the eagle. So we're doing mountain, eagle, I'm sorry, that was the tree pose, Vrikshasana. Mountain, tree, and eagle, they kind of go together. So, Garudasana. Yeah, my balance is like the tits, man. Just as I say that, I'm falling over. So these poses, of course, are the most basic poses. You see them in every yoga class that you go to. We'll do a couple more basic standing poses. We're going to do Trikonasana. Utthita Trikonasana, it's called. So you want to line up in the middle of your mat on the edge and be aware of the edge of the mat because you're going to keep your body in alignment with it. And then we're going to jump out. From here we can do lots of stuff. But we're going to start with Utthita Trikonasana, which is rotating your front foot parallel to the edge of the mat. Your back foot's 45 degrees. Moving your upper body forward towards that extended foot and then down to the knee or below that all the way to the foot, eventually all the way to the floor on the outside of the leg, keeping the leg straight and gazing up at the thumb. taking some deep breaths. And coming up, rotating the feet in the opposite direction. Nice deep breath, exhaling, moving the upper body forward and coming down outside of the foot, knee, or shin, turning the head up towards the thumb. Coming up, an exhale and jumping out. So that was Utthita Trikonasana, three-cornered angle pose. So we can do some variations of that. It's always good. And we're going to start with a rotation of that pose. We're going to rotate the upper body. It's called Parivitra Utthita Trikonasana. All right? We're just going to rotate that body and then bring it down on the outside of the foot and look up at the thumb. And coming up, rotate the foot to the other side, rotate the body. Coming up. This time we're going to rotate the feet back. We're going to bend the front knee. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 1, which is the warrior pose. Virabhadrasana 2, coming down on the knee. If you have really strong legs, you can pop right up from here. I don't know if I can do that. Sort of. Virabhadrasana 3. That back leg straight and up in the air. Ardha Chandrasana. So this is a little bit of what you would call I believe it's Ashtanga yoga, where you're going through the poses a little bit more rapidly. So we're going to the other side, we're bending the knee, Virabhadrasana 1. I'm going to go right into the window. Virabhadrasana 2 and 3. Whoa. And ending with Ardha Chandrasana. Try to get the whole body in that plane on the edge of the mat. Get the leg up in the air as high as possible. And coming out. So, okay, so there's some more poses we can do, standing poses, that are based on Utthita Trikonasana. The next series is called Parsva Konasana. Parsva means side. So we're going to jump out just like we did. We're going to rotate the feet. We're going to bend the knee. This time we're going to rotate around with that bent knee. Sorry. The initial pose is down and on the same side. We're not rotating. This is Parsva Konasana. Looking up into the arm and doing it on the other side. Coming back, going to the other knee, bending it, and rotating that to Parsva Konasana. If you can go to your knee, that's perfect. That's initially the beginning of learning this pose. Parivitra Parsva Konasana. Coming up. Parivitra Parsva Konasana on the opposite side. and out. Jumping out. So you can see that the standing poses are quite rigorous. So, you don't want to do a whole hour of standing poses. And so that's all we're going to do. Then we're going to go back to the mat. Back to the floor, I should say. Going to check the time. 7:34. Looking pretty good. And we are going to start with the Virasana series. So we go Virasana, Supta Virasana, and Paryankasana. Okay? So Virasana is basically just sitting on your knees with the back straight and your feet under your hips, your arms stretched out, and taking a nice deep breath. Virasana, letting that heart settle after all that rigorous standing poses. I gotta say, I go out and I walk with weights. I power walk with weights. It is the best cardio exercise you can do. But now I've started to do that, and I've started to add on a running session afterwards. And man, it just makes such a difference to run, even if only for 10 minutes. It's just, well, I can see it's improving my balance. It's making my movements quicker. It's making me more agile. And I'm also sprinting during that running session. I used to be a college level sprinter. I actually used to go out and train with the with the Africans out on the field at UCLA. That was pretty amazing. So, now we're going to go into Supta Virasana, which, by degrees. Leaning back is the first degree, then going back down on your elbows, right? Then sliding your elbows forward, coming down over your feet, and then raising your arms over your head. So any degree that you can get to is going to be a wonderful stretch for your calf muscles. This is also a very renewing exercise for your legs. It's called the runner's pose, by the way, Supta Virasana. The trick here is to actually relax in this pose. Oh, so we're coming up. I'm bringing the top of my head down on the mat. I'm folding my arms over my head. This is Paryankasana, which is also known as the couch pose. You're arching your back, opening up your chest, breathing deeply all the way down into the gut. Still, the calves are being thoroughly stretched. And releasing, coming up slowly, protecting the lower spine into Virasana, and then down into child's pose. which would be a contraindicating pose, if that's an appropriate term. I know in the medical world, contraindication means something that's, what, exactly negative to the condition or symptom that you have, or exactly opposite, something like that. And coming up, nice exhale, and bringing the legs back around in front. So now we're going to do a little bit of the seated yogi pose. Siddhasana, classic meditation, seated meditation pose, and variations of Siddhasana into Padmasana, into Baddha Padmasana, which is the bound lotus posture. We're going to do Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana, which is the forward bending pose that is half bound. So we're going to mess around with all these kind of Padmasana based poses, right? These are extreme stretches for the knees, for the inner thighs, primarily, and for the outer thighs as well. So the first thing we do is bring a foot up. We're going to start with Janu Sirsasana, which is not a terribly difficult pose. It starts to get you used to the idea of having your heel in your crotch and your knees bent. So we're going to reach out and grab the toes, and we're going to feel our breath dropping down into the abdomen. When we do that, then we're going to turn toward those toes that we reached out, and we're going to reach out with the other arm and grab the toes, feeling our breath dropping into the abdomen. And on an exhale, we're going to lean forward towards the knee. I'm going all the way to the knee. You don't have to do that. I'm also back grasping my hands around the sole of the foot, giving more leverage for an added stretch. So what I like about this pose is it stretches the muscles in the back of the knee, as well as stretches the hamstrings and the calf all at one time. And then you get an opposing stretch on the opposite knee. And now I'm coming up. We're going to switch legs. Go to the other side. Janu is the knee in Hindu. We're going to grab those toes. We're going to straighten our back and drop that breath right into the abdomen and turn towards the toes. You're going to get a stretch back here as well. And we're going to grab the toes and we're going to pull ourselves forward towards the knee. The wider the spread of your legs, the more difficult this pose is. You can go to the knee, you can go all the way to the floor if you want. Or you can stay upright and just bend a little towards the knee. Coming up, pausing on an exhale. Now we're going to spread the legs out. And we're going to do Upavista Konasana. It's another angle pose. We're going to reach out for both toes this time. Straighten the back. Straighten the back. Deep breath, exhale, and move forward. I'm going all the way to the floor. This is an extreme hamstring stretch. And coming up, releasing that. This pose and Baddha Konasana are one of the best poses for stretching the inner thighs. They're also very beneficial for women in a menstrual cycle, and they prevent prostate cancer. So it's also called the cobbler pose. This is what is this? This is Baddha Konasana, right? Baddha always means bad or bound. Grabbing the toes, both heels into the crotch, bringing the head down. This is also beneficial for pregnant women. It's going to make delivery a whole lot easier if you practice this regularly. Keeps the health of the pelvic area, the flexibility. In a moment of peace, we can connect with ourselves. Coming up. Now we are working our way to Padmasana. These poses are just going to make that particular pose, Padmasana, that much easier. I'm also going to do a pose involving my ankles at this point. I'm going to be an opportunist for a minute. I'm grabbing my toes, putting my heels together. This is an excellent stretch for the arch of the foot. I forget what it's called. And then I'm going to do something that's a little bit more extreme for the knees. I forget what this is called. It's something like, I forget. I know it's got the word diva in it. Divasana. I'm going to pull those feet up as far as I can. Come out of that. I'm going to go back on this side. And come out of that. And I'm going to take a brief rest while I look up that pose name. See if I can fool the book, trick the book into letting me see that pose early on. What is that a result of? That's a result of Baddha Konasana, I believe. And the book is not cooperating. Although, here's one we did earlier, and I didn't know the name. It's called Marichyasana, which was the bent leg and the spinal twist, which we did as a warm-up. Oh, well. So I don't know that name. I'll have to study that. So now we're ready to do some Padmasana. Just going to stretch a little bit. I'm going to pull one leg up into the crotch, just like we did in Janu Sirsasana. And we're going to sort of feel where our knees are at. I'm going to pull the other leg up over on top of it. This is Siddhasana. This is the most basic seated meditation pose. Now, to advance on that, you take your foot and you lift it up like this, right? Just pull it over onto the thigh, and you're going to feel the stretch in your knee and the outer part of the upper portion of your calf muscle. And we're going to get comfortable in that pose, and then we're going to pull the foot underneath that all of that on the opposite side. Got to straighten the shoulders, keep the chin level. So this would be, like the second degree Padmasana. So third degree, and if you're comfortable in that pose, don't want to go further, just stay in that pose, first, second, third degree. Third degree is full Padmasana, where you have both feet up on the thigh muscles and as tight against your stomach as you can get them, especially if you want to attempt Baddha Padmasana, which is the following pose. You wrap your leg around and grab that toe on that side, grab your other foot, or big toe in this case. Your breathing becomes a little bit more rapid. Straighten your back. Come down into Yoga Mudrasana. And release. Then we're going to go into Tolasana, which is lifting your body up in Padmasana. Then, in this configuration, we're going into Gorakasana, or Gomukhasana, which is the cow pose, cow herd pose. It's not the cow face pose, it's the cow herder pose. Down into Bhujangasana and Padmasana, Simhasana, up, back into Gorakasana, I believe, and down into Padmasana, and let's get that back there. Going down into, oh my goodness, the fish pose, which is not Marichyasana. It's, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done it. So this is a wonderful pose that allows your upper body to pull out of your pelvic girdle, which tends over time and gravity, your spine tends to be dragged into your pelvic girdle and tightened up and sort of, it needs to loosen up. So you pull it away from that pelvic girdle. I can feel it just way deep in these bones, especially when you put your arms straight over your head. Matsyendrasana, that is what this pose is, the fish pose. So you just make it like a fish, baby. And coming up and out of that, stretching the legs out. Oh, yes. One last pose we're going to do on that side, or that configuration, is Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana. So we're going to wrap around. Now, like I say, if you're here, just stay here, just put your arm in back and sort of pull yourself around. You don't have to go this extreme. I've been doing this for years and years. Depth of the breath, coming down over the knee. Reversing that, grabbing the inner thigh, which should be the ankle, but I'm not quite there. Twisting, looking towards the extended foot. and releasing. Now we're going to go to the other side. We're going to start with that Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana. So straightening the back, grabbing the leg. Like I said, you don't have to go this extreme. Just get the idea, get that spine stretched out. Maybe get your head towards the knee. Coming up. Okay, now you can go, we're dealing with the opposite leg. So the way we started was, I believe, with this leg on top, right? So this time we're going to go, this leg is going to be up, this leg's going underneath, Siddhasana 2, or Padmasana 2, we can call that. This is Padmasana 3, or the full lotus, with the opposite leg on top. Now we're always symmetrical in yoga, so you got to grin and bear it. Let's just enjoy this beautiful pose. Relax the other parts of our body. Counteract the tensing. Okay, so now we're going to bind this pose. So I'm going to go for the top foot first. So I'm going to throw my arm around. See if I can do it. Here we are. Straighten the back as much as possible. Deep breath. Exhale down into Yoga Mudrasana. Coming up, releasing. Coming into Tolasana. Going into Gorakasana. Coming down into Bhujangasana and Padmasana. Simhasana, the lion pose. Remember the, what was it, Columbia Pictures? No, that was the Statue of Liberty. I forget which picture it was. With the roaring lion. And coming back up into Gorakasana. Down into Padmasana. And releasing the legs. Stretching them out, shaking them out. Ah, wonderful poses. So we're just about at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go into Paschimottanasana now just for a rest. So I'm going to grab the toes. Come down. And I'm going to do a couple of poses that are counteracting poses on the whole Paschimottanasana thing. One is Dhanurasana. Okay, so Dhanurasana can be a rather difficult pose, but you just get your head, the top of your head on the floor, and your hands reversed on your back, on your shoulders, and you come up on your head, and you stretch your pelvis up towards the ceiling. Then you raise yourself with your arms. And down. So that's a nice counterbalancing pose to Paschimottanasana. Here we're going to do the same thing, sort of the same thing, only we're going to do so we just did, okay, so this is Dhanurasana. What we just did was, I forget. So Dhanurasana, you're grabbing your ankles, you're coming up, pressing your stomach against the floor and raising your legs as high as possible. Breathing deeply. Then, resting the legs on the floor, coming over the tops of the feet with your palms, pushing down towards the floor, and breathing. This is Bikasana, the frog pose. Coming back to Halasana, Dhanurasana. Going over to the side, Parsva Dhanurasana. And over to the other side. Oh, yes. Move forward. Coming up into Bhujangasana. Resting here for a bit. Tightening the hip muscles to protect the lower spine. Extending that stretch. Pulling the upper body out of the pelvic girdle. And coming back to child's pose. And resting here. So that's one of the things I was just studying, was the difference between Ashtanga and Vinyasa yoga. Well, not just studying it was 3 or 4 days ago. But I believe Ashtanga is the rapid going through the poses with music. And it has a set sequence of poses. And then I believe Vinyasa yoga, I may have them reversed. I have to look that up. And then there's alignment yoga, which is, of course, much slower, much more meticulous, much more micromanaged. So that is it for the seated poses. And instead of finishing off with a headstand, I'm going to start focusing on the handstand, which, let's see if we can get a bead on the actual Hindu name of that pose. Probably not, but I'll give it oh, here it is, right here. Well, he gets into it from Chakrasana. Urdhva Dandasana. Yeah, I think that's going to take too long. I'll have to look at that off camera. Anyways, the handstand. We'll just call it the handstand. I don't know exactly. I haven't studied the exact way to get into this. I don't have much wall. I've only got 6 inches of wall. So it's the only wall I have available right here, right now. So, and this is probably going to take 2 weeks to master this pose. So I'm going to go down about 6 inches from the frame of the wall. And I'm going to try to get my feet to land on that wall, which may not be easy to do. Well, I can get one leg up there. So the idea for me is going to be to stay up here for 2 or 3 minutes, eventually maybe 5 minutes, if that's even humanly possible. So I kind of doubt. And coming down. So yeah, I'm going to start doing the handstand instead of the shoulder stand, or instead of the headstand, Salamba Sirsasana. But I encourage you all to do the headstand, Salamba Sirsasana. It in no way is going to hurt you unless you already have some kind of spinal condition in which you cannot compress your vertebra any further. I found it after doing it 27 days in a row, missing only 1 or 2 days, that it definitely increased the pain in my neck to the point of, hey, gotta stop. So I'm turning over to the inversion table and the handstand, and then eventually the scorpion pose, which is the elbow stand. And so to complete this yoga session, we are going to do Savasana, which is the corpse pose. We're going to make like a corpse, and we're going to turn the music up a little bit. We're going to mellow out for the last couple minutes of the class and release all the tension in our physical body. You know, we actually have 4 bodies: the physical, the ethereal, the astral, and there's a 4th body as well. So our physical body is actually a medium for spiritual transformation. So our souls enter into this physical body for the sole purpose of transforming spiritually, irregardless of how many times that takes. So we can take a minute to connect with our soul by being calm and quiet and having an empty mind. All right, so that ends the class for today. Rise and Shine Yoga, Trace Perot. This will be posted on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, hopefully. And let me bring this down. So yeah, gonna do this every Tuesday and Friday, a full yoga class. I'll have another tooth in about a week or so. Yeah, we'll do a full yoga class, concentrating on doing handstands and headstands and all that good stuff. And you can reach me at Tracy Ray on YouTube, Raw Vegan Cowboy on Facebook, or is that the way it goes? I always forget. Facebook is Tracy Ray. Raw Vegan Cowboy is Instagram. Raw Vegan Cowboy is YouTube. And Tracy Ray Music, TRACI music.com is my website, which I'm redoing slowly but surely. So that's where you can find me. Like, share, subscribe, follow, and I know you will do that if anybody has stuck around for the whole class. I noticed that my average watch time is like less than a minute in a lot of cases. So, you know, I encourage people in the beginning, I'm going to start encouraging them just to keep scrolling. If you want to do a yoga class, just go to one of those sites and you can do the most recent yoga class when you're up for it, when you feel like it. Some people like to do yoga in the evening when their muscles are already warmed up. Some people like to do it early in the morning, get some going like me. So, you know, it's one of these convenience things. You do not have to tune in just once. I usually do this 7 or 8 o'clock, but I am going to start doing it every Tuesday and Friday for sure. There might be a few yoga classes in between there. So that's kind of the way it's playing out. And I see my niece, Kara Peck, is watching. Hey, Kara, how you doing? Long time no see. Glad to have you here. And so check me out on Friday. I will be back 7 or 8 o'clock, and we'll have at it once again. All right, thanks for watching. See you later, Kara. Take care. I hope everything's good with you. Adios.